Welcome to Sweaty Time Pro Wrestling, where the co-host takes charge. My name's James.
And I am Sean.
And this is the show only on Marshland Media that discusses Lucha Underground and once I say, Los Luchadores.
One time only, and we are the only show. If I ever pull up an episode of Mostly Speaking Sentai, and I hear Nicole going off about how Phoenix is a wonderful high flyer meshing the styles of Strong and Lucha Libre, I will flip my shit over.
Yeah, and if you hear a guest on there say, whoa, man, I can't believe these two great wrestlers, Killshot and Phoenix, put on such a snooze fest.
I mean, go fuck yourself.
It was bad, guys.
It was not bad.
It was boring.
It was not boring. It was 6 minutes. You have been blessed by Lucha Underground.
Only like the last 2 minutes were good, and then I was like, all right, no thank you.
Oh, man, hard disagree. We'll get there when we get there.
But first, big plan, Sean.
What the fuck does that even mean, James?
Okay, guess what? Unless I want to completely change what I do in my everyday life, I cannot be your agent. I would need to be a part of an agency. I don't know how. There's on television shows, I see someone say, I'm going independent. I'll be my own agent. A New Girl did it, you know?
Yeah, I did not think that was never on the table, James.
Yes, we've been talking about this. I'm serious about this because
about this.
This is what I've realized. My friend MC Deep said, and many other people I know, hey, when I'm around James, I am my most creative and specifically productive when it comes to the arts. So I'm like, how can I do that for Sean? For his...
Who has said, when I'm around James, I am at my most perverted and, quite frankly, disturbing self.
Well, I'm going to get you really... I'm going to find you jobs. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try maybe 30 minutes to an hour every week. I'm going to scour the online boards that have acting roles, the auditions, and I'm going to scope out the ones that are in your age and gender and, overall aesthetic. What can you tell me? What kind of roles can you play?
All right. You ever, okay, so you know that episode of Friends where Joey is like, I'm in a movie, but the movie was a porn, but he's not actually having sex in the porn. He's just in the background making copies. Not Joey. I want to be the copy machine.
All right. Okay. So kind of like an R2-D2 style person.
Well, the thing is, R2-D2 is actually can form thoughts and is sentient. I don't want to think no more. I'm done with thinking. I just want to make copies and then have some dude's butt on me.
Okay, so
that's all I want.
You kind of want to be a Silent Bob type, minus, like walking around. You just want to be stationary, still have a character and a role, maybe do like a shrug here and there, but you're not moving besides like a shrug or like maybe one of these, like a finger gun wink.
Yes, Snoochie Boochies, indeed.
Okay, well...
Or, I'm giving you options. I am a pliable actor. I can give you options. Or, I could be... If you've ever seen, Survivor, and there's that guy who goes to the island, but he doesn't participate in any of the tasks, and he wears cargo shorts... I would like to wear more cargo shorts.
Okay, so you're saying you want to be the presenter.
I mean, I want to wear cargo shorts.
Okay,
it seems he's the only guy that gets to wear cargo shorts, as far as I know.
It's insane that when, a friend is saying, hey, I want to make sure you are living up to your potential. And literally all you have to do is be sent a link and click on it and then maybe follow through, upload your headshots. But all of the scouring and whatnot that might be hey,
that I should be doing.
I
Yes.
want to write a script, but wow, it sure does take a long time. What if someone just wrote the script like you just said it and someone was like, oh yeah, I'm a friend, I'll type it out for you.
Oh, you mean, yeah? Like Mr. Formulaic over here just pulled off? Okay.
So, no, wait, no.
Congratulations. Didn't you just write the script?
Oh, I finished writing a script. I thought you meant like I had someone write it for me.
No, I was saying congratulations. You wrote your first formulaic script.
And first finished script ever. I'm just saying, it's weird that a friend, I say like, hey, what acting roles can you do? And you give me a photocopier and man in cargo shorts.
Those are 2 great roles. Do you want a third?
I'm going to Torchy.
Oh my gosh, my third role, of course, being host of Sweaty Time Pro Wrestling, the podcast on the Swamp Monster. Fuck. Damn it. Your Torchy thing really threw me off. This was going to be a killer transition.
I'm going to Torchy. Not to tell on you. I'm going to do what I said I would do for you, but for Torchy.
No, I understood the first time you said it. Thank you. Welcome to Sweaty Time Pro Wrestling, the podcast breakdown on the Marshland Media Empire conglomeration. We are on episode 25 of season 1 of Lucha Underground, The Way of the Drago.
Ooh, Sean, I do have one more follow-up. You came over Sunday. That's why we didn't have an episode. Patreon.com/MLM pod, where for $10 a month, you can listen to Torchy and Sean and myself discuss a beautiful movie entitled Invisible Dad.
Invisible Dad, you never seen what he did, isn't a dad.
Yeah, so...
You think enough people know that Invisible Kid reference to understand what I was doing?
Oh, I don't know.
All right. Good. That's a good indicator.
Well, you were over. Can you tell the story, or if you're comfortable, of your first kiss?
Did I tell my first kiss story?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I feel like I'm very afraid I'm going to tell a first kiss story that was not my actual first kiss story.
You were also saying like, hey, a skate park is an important thing to do.
Oh, yeah, that wasn't a real first kiss story.
Wait.
I lied. I'm so sorry.
Sean, no.
Do you want me to tell my real first kiss story?
Did this actual kiss story happen that you told us?
I don't even remember what I said, so probably not. Especially considering I don't think I've ever been to a skate park in my life.
Okay, real quick, Nicole needed help taking in groceries. She needed me to go to the bus stop. So our recording started about 25 minutes late. Nicole is probably no longer sorry.
Because I lied about my first kiss story?
Because you want to know why? I was going to bring up, I was like, Nicole, I think I know Sean's type now. Women who can kick his ass.
I mean, that's part of it. That's true. Did I say I got bullied at a skate park and then I got kissed?
It's insane. Okay, you said like, oh, I went to a skate park and that actually happens to be where I got my first kiss. The girl had just gotten into a fist fight and then we made out.
That was my first girlfriend, not my first kiss. That is a true story. That is a true story. Okay, I'm sorry.
Did it happen at a skate park?
Our first date was at a concert held at an all-ages skate park.
Insane.
An indoor all-ages skate park that also had all-ages shows. I forget what bands we saw. It was very punky, and she did get in a fight while we were there.
Okay, well...
by a bunch of people I didn't know, which was it's so fun to see like, I've never, by the way, never been to this skate park before, was not my... I don't know. Like, I just didn't have a lot of punk friends in this little neighborhood of Buffalo I grew up in.
Kaisertown,
baby. So this was like cool. I think these might be my people. I finally don't feel like surrounded by jocks and like all these assholes. Hell yeah, punk rock music. Why does everyone here want to kick your ass? And like everyone there wanted to kick her ass.
Hell yeah.
So, skate parks are important.
And that's your type, isn't it?
I mean, I don't know. That didn't end well.
Okay. Explain.
I don't want to.
Okay. She ended up taking your dick.
Yes, I have no more penis. It has been removed.
No, you got it back, but she took it for a little bit. She put it on ice and she put it in iced milk.
Mm-hmm. Clearly. And that's why my dick is so full of calcium as it is today.
That's you got many boners, baby.
Yeah.
There's just a straight up bone in there like a raccoon.
Mm-hmm. Well, I got like 5 different bones and they were all sticking out. I got like a pincushion penis.
Okay.
And Dario Cueto has a pin cushion. Are we ready for this transition?
Yeah.
Has got a pin cushion temper because he has been needled for the last time by the crew. We open this episode in an alleyway behind the temple at night. Dario is closing a door behind him and asks the crew if they know what a layup is, to which Mr. Sisko shakes his head no.
Insane.
I have turned the corner completely on Mr. Sisko for this one very clearly a hypothetical question that he does feel the need to be like, I do not know what a layup is.
Uh-huh.
Dario explains, it's a gimme, it's a freebie, which is what I gave you last week, and you failed. You failed to capture the trio's titles. Mr. Sisko, this is what a layup is, and you've lost, sir. Good day.
Dario's going into a very goofy comedy route because he goes, last week he was talking about how it's the least equipped and the ones who have so much inner turmoil won. Oh my God. But in this one, he's like, I gave you a gimme, okay? Just how he said gimme was very funny. And he says, you guys lost? This is how he describes Evilise. A girl with one leg.
I think from the beginning of this series, Dario sort of skirts the line of which is what good melodrama should do, a very tense and dramatic villain, and also over the top cartoonish. And especially, I think, with the crew, which are... I feel safe describing the crew as bumbling goons at this point. Especially with the Mr. Sisko shake of his head, I don't know what a layup is. Please explain, boss. These are bumbling goons, which they bring out the most cartoonishness of each other. It's very fun. But Dario promises to give them some real motivation this time and is opening a door for them before looking at his key and then closing the door behind. And we cut to the one room Black Lotus broke into before being kidnap trained. If this is your first episode, thank you for coming in. We are not doing recaps anymore.
So this had some straight up Are You Afraid of the Dark vibes.
Very much so. I think a lot of this series just does. Do you mean that in a childish way or in a Are You Afraid of the Dark was ahead of his time kind of way?
I mean wow, this is clearly not a jail cell. This is a tiny room made up to look like a jail cell in both color grading, depth of field, and production value. This felt like it was filmed in Canada in the mid-90s.
That's fair. I think I want to ask... Let me ask you this though, because something, and I'm not sure because that's very fair, but does that room look like the rest of the temple as we've seen so far?
Well, this looks like an offshoot of the temple. Hey, we're in a separate warehouse situation. So it looks like it could be. My dad owned businesses that manufacturing warehouses where, hey, this is a manufacturing warehouse. And then you go and you're like, oh, wow, this is a beautiful boardroom. And then you go to another place and you're like, whoa, this place hasn't seen the light of day in 15 years.
Yeah, one of back in Buffalo, the theater I probably worked at the most because they were the most desperate to cast.
It was a Jack Shack theater, right?
It was a theater in a former manufacturing warehouse that then got converted into various businesses. There was, pottery, the subversive theater. There's a lot of different things going on. And you would go from theater to, room to room and be like, oh, here's a Jack Shack. Here is another Jack Shack. Here's a third Jack Shack. Yes. And then here's the theater Marciniak worked at. But that is a very good point. And I think I'm curious. The reason I ask is because I didn't want it to look like a jail cell proper. I wanted it to look like part of the temple. Every location, for the most part, should look like part of the temple. The temple it's the New York City to this Martin Scorsese film of a wrestling program. It's the fifth character. If you really want to think about it in a way that makes you think. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Then if we're really nitpicking, absolutely not. This looks like, again, it was filmed in Canada in 1994.
Yeah, and I think that's why I wanted to ask, because I didn't realize it, but I did notice the lighting was so much more different than the first time we saw it. And I think they went too far, like lighting the room up, which is a shame, because I thought the way they actually, we should break down the scene real quick. It's, Dario brings up to the room. This is the room, of course, that Black Lotus broke into to find the man who killed her village. So inside, behind bars, is a very dangerous, large, imposing figure.
We don't know if they're large or imposing. We just know they're dangerous.
We do, actually, based on some of the shots we see.
Okay.
Well, we are assuming.
All right.
Crew enters. Dario's behind them. Dario says, "Allow me to introduce you to my brother." So we learning about this monster. And he says, "Disappoint me again, and you're going to apologize to him in there." And the way we can kind of assume he is large and imposing is the way they shoot it, which is why I'm bummed that the scenery actually was overlit, was because I thought the actual shots were very good. It's all from like behind the bars, camera pointing a little up, but all the eyes of the crew looking up at Dario's brother, and he is casting a large shadow over them. So it's like the shot I think is very good. The scenery could have used a little TLC.
Maybe he has a big old long trench coat on and he's on a stool and they're like, "Oh yeah, he's so tall." And Dario's like, "Yeah, treat my brother like he's big."
He might be three little rascals stacked on top of each other trying to get a bank account. And you gotta try 7, baby. 7? Yeah.
Lil Corey told me that when I say, he always is like, "Yeah, it just sounds like you're starting to sing Gwen Stefani."
Wait, which one? Oh, that's my shit. All the girls want to touch my bits. Those are not the lyrics, are they?
Touch my clit.
Nice. And we go in and we get a new band, I believe. Sergio Mendoza y La Orchestra play us to the desk.
No, they've been here for like 3 weeks.
That's not true.
Yep,
is that
it
true?
is. Because a few weeks ago you said, "Oh, they didn't even tell us the name." I was like, "It's Sergio something."
Oh, okay. Well, I'm a piece of trash. They set us up for the stakes tonight of the title versus career match, Drago versus Puma. And that's going to be fun. I'm excited to see either a new champion or the end of a man's career.
No, and guys, no thank you to a subdued Vampiro. He's not going like, choking as a little older or little brother would do. Not a little older brother.
Yeah, he's too busy adjusting his headset and lowering the bandana on his forehead throughout the night. He's kind of chilled out this week. Just like in general.
Maybe he's on that sativa. Yes,
maybe.
Indica, I mean.
Indica. They maybe got that Indica inch in stores now.
Yeah. But it's Indica itch. No, wait. Indica, what is an inch? Yes, it is inch.
I listen to shit. And we go to the first match of the night. A discrepancy between us. It is Phoenix versus Killshot. Killshot, of course, will Digivolution into Swerve Strickland in later years in America. But for now, he is Killshot. A stealthy, accurate, and as the name implies, finality sort of a very sharp wrestler with like a bullseye sort of logo on his forehead.
Yeah, that bullet thing on his brain. Not sure what that's all about.
Yeah, Vampiro is here tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Context clues, sir.
And this is also after like the beautiful analysis of, and this is the first time we're seeing Killshot wrestle. Matt Stryker just going on, as little as we know about Killshot, his name implies accuracy and finality. And Vampiro saw a circle and some crosshairs and got real confused real quick.
Insane. How do you not know what bullets are? And when you like look down the barrel into a scope, you see that. That's what kill shots are all about.
He gets that, but like, why would you want to put a bullet on your head? Wouldn't you want to put a bullet on the other guy's head?
I guess.
Think about it.
Okay.
Think about it with your bullet brain, Bill.
But it's the secret of it all, you know? You got to will that into being. You can't give someone a mask to wear. You have to wear it yourself and be like, this is what I'm about. Imagery.
Yeah. The iconography of it all.
Yeah, look at horrorcore rappers. You know, they dress up in like Jinko jeans and roll their eyes back in their head. And it's like, well, we can still see the bottom of your irises. So like, it's kind of weird that you're doing this. Just edit it out of the photos. And then they'll like do some devil horns and whatnot. And like, why would you do that? What's that all about?
So you're suggesting to me right now, when a horrorcore rapper is wearing the Jinko jeans, they are really saying, hey, society, you're the one in Jinko jeans. I'm just reflecting / foreshadowing that into your own mind palaces.
But also, like, all these upside down crosses and pentagrams they have, what's that all about?
Well, the name implies accuracy and finality.
Yes, and,
so there's
and
that.
Wicked shit in horrorcore. Okay,
Yes. All right. You did not like this match. You found it a little too slow, or a little too what was it that kind of just, you mentioned boring.
Yeah, it was just boring.
Okay, what does that mean?
It was slow for one, not a lot was happening, and they were kind of just like touching each other, and that's it.
Well, that's what wrestling is.
No, just like, oh, I'm going to slap you. And like, it wasn't being sold until the end. Like when they're in grappling and like they were grappling each other, then like, I'm going to reverse counter this. I was like, no one is in pain. No one looks like they need to get out of these grapples.
I mean, yeah, they opened up. I enjoyed this match very much, and I enjoyed those opening wrist lock exchanges. You could do a couple things with wrist lock exchanging. It's funny, the hammer. You know when a wrestler puts another wrestler's arm behind their back, that the hammer lock? Yeah. We'll see a variation of that later tonight. It's you take your arm, you sort of bend it in a rough way, and they put it behind your back. And it's been done so often. I was watching Shayna Baszler, former MMA competitor, wrestles for the WWE now. Great YouTube channel. If you're not following Shayna Baszler and you're interested in like seeing how actual techniques are sort of applied to the WWE and vice versa, highly recommend. But she mentioned something about the short arm scissor or the hammer lock that like you forget, like it's as much as it's a transition move as we see today in wrestling and it's sort of taken for granted, that can actually that can dislocate an elbow. Like that can fuck up an elbow real bad. Like if someone actually applies pressure on that and bends it the right way, it's like a calf cutter. They're putting a sort of fulcrum where your elbow doesn't need an extra fulcrum and it can like pull the whole joint out. So it's one of those things where like the wrist locks aren't immediately dangerous, but they can lead to something very painful. So being able to escape those and apply your own and trade off on those in the story, I think is very important. And I think just in this match, they do it very well. I so much enjoy watching Phoenix wrestle and finding the tiger feint, like just the new ways he has of not just escaping, but then turning the tide so quickly. There is a moment where Killshot gets dumped to the outside. You think that Phoenix is going to dive out after him. Instead, he sort of does like a fake out 619. And then he comes back around immediately afterwards and does hit a diving Hurricane Rana. Mm-hmm. And that's the shit I fucking love so much about Phoenix, where it is not just being faster than your opponent, but also being able to slow down the match so that you can be the one to pick up the speed. Being the one in control of the speed of the match, not just going super fast.
Well, hey, these two need to be in control of some actual speed up their nose so they're getting in there going crazy.
Yeah, more wrestlers should do speed.
Trucker speed. Do that at least.
No, don't.
Take a 5 shower energy. Yeah, 5 shower energy, okay?
More wrestlers and wrestling fans should shower. This I agree with. But it's like we've learned nothing from the 80s and the 90s. No more speed. No more drugs.
More speed.
No more speed.
Yes.
The match ends after a Phoenix beaten up so badly he can barely kip up, but does manage to Shota palm strike Killshot on the top rope, flying knee, Phoenix driver, match is over at 6 minutes flat.
Okay, one thing you forgot to mention is they're just straight up slapping each other in the face.
That was awesome. Specifically, Phoenix is slapping the shit out of Killshot. It's very cool.
And Vampiro says, there's no other name for it. That is a straight up piss slap.
I think he said bitch slap.
No, I don't think he can say bitch, so I think he said piss slap.
I will have to rewatch that. I'm okay. I will have to double check that. We'll get our fact checker on that.
Because he can't swear, and I've recently found out piss might not be a curse word.
I mean, I don't think he can swear. He can, because you can say bitch on like FX, and El Rey is above the FX line.
I don't know.
So I think you can say bitch. We will double check this. But that's the moment. That's one of those moments I was talking about of like Killshot. And if you've never, who is amazing. If maybe you're an old school fan or you're not super familiar with Swerve's work, Swerve is so good. And this is a very young Swerve. This is, I think, definitely his first TV gig, but some of his first major work. And to see Phoenix have to slow down Swerve, and the way he does it is just by slapping the shit out of him, I was like, yay. It was very fun.
I very much enjoyed Phoenix backflipping from the top ropes to like counter out of a maneuver that Killshot had. That was really good. And for the most part, in my opinion, if your interests in wrestling are like mine, you could skip this, especially for the two people who are involved. I saw these two in the ring and I was like, hell yeah, this is going to be a great match. And then kind of underwhelmed.
Yeah, I think also part of it going in with the understanding that this is a very, not green because he's been on the indies for a little bit, but new to TV Killshot.
Okay, so I've seen him like once or twice, loved him so much, and then in this match, he shat the bed.
Well, this is his first singles match is what I'm saying.
No. A trios is just a singles match with other people, you know?
Very untrue.
No, you're focused on one person and you say, I'm going to take that fucker down.
Okay, I sure do love argumentative for the sake of argumentative, James. What great conversations this leads to.
No, I'm saying if you're in it, telling it's not an argument. If you are planning on going into wrestling and there's a trios match, you eye lock on one person and say, hey, I'm putting you in the goddamn ground, and that will scare them so much they'll run out of the ring.
Oh, okay. And when's the last time you saw that specifically happen? What you just described with the words out of your mouth? When did you see that happen?
I'm pretty sure it happened in Dodgeball, a true underground dog story.
Oh, a true underground dog story?
Yeah.
You saw that in the underground dog story that had nothing to do with professional wrestling? It was about Dodgeball?
Mm-hmm.
We gotta move on. I fucking hate you so much.
No, you don't. You love me. You love me as much as that lady who beat up someone then smooched you.
She got beat up. It was different.
Oh, I thought she beat the shit out of someone.
I mean, I don't know. It eventually got broken up. It wasn't a very decisive either way.
No,
I think I do think it's working.
You gotta be on your woman's side and say, "Hey, babe, you won."
I just met this woman. Excuse me. Probably. That's why whatever. That's why I suck. I don't know. It's weird because I do want to. I think if you go into it, sort of, if you're a big Swerve fan, if you like what he's doing now, you like what he did in NXT, and it's one of those. I don't know. Sometimes you get like a demo tape of a band you really like, and you could hear how like they're not quite there yet. But I'm such a fan. But like it's interesting. It's always interesting to me, like going back and hearing like early Nirvana tapes and being like, yeah, They definitely didn't have the melodies down yet, but you could hear where they're going, and it's just exciting. I think if you're a Swerve fan and you want to see some of his older stuff, this is a great showcase. If you want to, I don't know. Make your own decisions. Let us know.
NXT, more like Ben sex me. I'm gonna meet in the middle and have sex with Benjamin Button.
All right then. Okay.
Sean, real quick.
What's up?
Two things. I've been asking all my co-hosts this. Nicole declined not to answer on mic or off mic because she's like, wow, that's real depressing. If I were to die on my birthday every year, what movie would you watch to remind you of me?
That's a fucked up question. That's a real fucked up. I was gonna say that's a good question, but like no, that's a fucked up question. I mean, I don't think you'd watch one movie, right?
Okay.
I think that like you have such an eclectic taste of truly bad movies.
Some are good.
We watched Invisible Dad last week.
Yeah, good movie.
Great film. 10 out of 10. I mean, I think it'll be like a revolving door of that. I mean, Psycho Gorman, I think, is a reasonable answer. But like, I do want to watch like Troll 2 and like, right?
No, that's a correct answer.
I don't know. What do you want us to watch?
Troll 2.
Okay, cool. I'll watch Troll 2 again.
And then the other question, this was posed on Engaged with Nicolas Cage.
Okay. Did Nicole answer this question?
No, Nicole was involved in this. And she's like, I'm so glad you brought this to Engaged with Nicolas Cage this week because we were discussing Lord of War, which is about illegal arms dealers. So she's like, we needed some levity in this. So we were about to watch a TV show to go to bed. And like I did with the NXT, more like Ben Sex Me.
Which was about having sex with Benjamin Button in the middle.
In the middle, of course, a.k.a. going to Indiana with the Hex, and we say, get out of there, Heck family. And they're like,
and then Neil Flynn is there. He's mopping up a floor for JD from Scrubs, going, oh, I guess I can't watch it. Get it on. All right.
And Eden Sure all of a sudden turned animated and is Star Butterfly from Star versus the Forces of Evil, and she's saying, hey, I'm a human. I'm going to turn you into a butterfly as well.
Yeah, and everyone loves Raymond's wife is there too.
Yeah,
All right.
Okay, so
yeah.
I turned on
30 minutes in, people. 30 minutes in.
I turned on this show and I said, blank, more like dog check chowder. Sean, what show was I talking about?
Check Chowder.
Nicole lost it because it was so, like, technically, yes, there's slant rhymes for every syllable. So, you know, it's a 4-syllable word, 2 words, dog check chowder.
That's actually more than I thought the only rhyme was going to be chowder.
Oh, no.
All right. Okay, so we got dog check, log, feck. Hold on. Now hold the fuck on.
And it's a 2-word
I do not want to be
title.
pressured. All right, shit, dude. And it was a TV show?
Yes, a TV show that you would watch before bed, meaning it's not like a crazy, super loud show.
Okay, Full House doesn't have enough syllables.
Dog check chowder.
Girl uninterrupted.
No.
Powder puff.
Nope.
Senpai.
You are going on the right track of like, okay, let me find out the first one. Log.
Dog check long fellow. Deeds. Mr. Deeds, the animated series.
Well, guys, if you want to find out what that word was.
And Max get fucked by Benjamin Button.
Nope, you'll find out next month. In May on Engaged with Nicolas Cage. But Nicole kept using that as the like reset of once things started getting a little like, oh, wow, we're talking about mass shootings too much. Oh, dog check chowder.
That's good. That's a good tool to have in your back pocket. You want to talk about this dingy bathroom real quick?
Yeah.
There's a dingy bathroom. Dario is in the mirror. Again, not washing his hands, just kind of looking in the mirror. He says to himself, Drago, I knew I'd find you here. And Drago no-clips into the mirror right next to Dario, who's very confused as to why Drago never thanked him. He knows the stipulation sucks, that if you don't win this title match, you're banished from the temple. But you're a survivor, Drago, so just keep on surviving. Dario predicts that Drago will thank him after tonight, while Drago slithers his tongue at Dario before leaving.
And, Sean, was Goldmember a dragon? Because as Dario says, dragons love gold.
Gold. Yes, that's true. This is one of the things I love about Lucha Underground so much. It's not that Drago is a man in a dragon mask. He is, in fact, a dragon.
There's a very, very, very cartoonish thing that happens at the end of this episode that I'm like, seriously, guys, that was bad.
Bad?
In a good way.
That was amazing. That was fucking that was great. That was Darren Joe. I forgot who plays Cosmo in Fairly Odd Parents.
Neil Flynn.
Neil Flynn level of cum gutters, amazing. The end of the episode.
Darren Norris, something like that.
Darren Norris, correct, yes. But after the bathroom, we go to the temple locker room where Puma is on a bench gearing up when he is approached by Dario.
Dean Norris.
No, it's Darren Norris. I thought it was Dean Norris.
Oh, yeah.
But I was wrong. Yes. Shouts out to Darren Norris. Great cum gutters in 1998.
Wait, also real quick, there is an episode, I can't believe we didn't connect these dots before. There is an episode where Drago is just eating a blunt and a pancake. Smoking a crepe.
Yeah. Not that he's a dragon, that he is gold member.
No, it's a bong and a blitz.
A bong and a blink.
Smoking a crepe.
Smoking a crepe, a joint, and a waffle?
Something.
I don't know. But we also got a Puma on a bench who Dario accuses of having second thoughts about ending Drago's career tonight. To which Dario reminds Puma, weak men think of their foes, warriors think only of victory, and only warriors carry my championship.
Okay. Real quick, This is some toxic warrior mentality because guess what? Warriors don't think of just winning in themselves. Warriors think of their people. And in this temple, it's Rudos and Technicos. And guess what? Drago is a Technico. They are kindred spirits. Of course, he doesn't want to just toss him out. He knows that this is going to be putting on good matches. Why would he want Drago out of here?
I can't believe you're saying this. Are you accusing Dario Cueto of being toxic?
Uh-huh.
That's true.
That's my
a good
shit.
point. all the little Technicos want to play like this. Dario is leaving. I didn't have the heart to continue the lyrics. I apologize to all of our Gwen Stefani fans out there. Dario goes to leave the locker room when Hernandez emerges from the shadows to confront him. Dario immediately, like the worm that he is, shrivels up inside. Hernandez, Hernandez immediately, I guess, sort of consoles Dario with the fact that I don't care about Puma. Mm-hmm. It's the first thing Hernandez says. By the way, Puma is, 5 feet away?
Yeah.
Very close. There was a shot of Puma looking up going, what the fuck, dude?
Well, maybe they think he can't hear because he's got that mask over his ear.
He very much can, though, and there is a shot of him hearing it, which I love so. Like, I love that they do include. It would be weird if they didn't include the shot, which makes me so happy that they did include the shot of Puma looking up, being like, "What the fuck?" What Hernandez is concerned about is the three-way match he has tonight against Cage and Cuerno, who last week tagged against him in the trios title match, and he is afraid will double team him out of revenge for costing them that trios championship. Dario solves this problem by offering motivation other than just kicking the shit out of Hernandez. The winner tonight will receive a #1 contendership for the Lucha Underground Championship. So which appeals Hernandez, but still leaves Puma very sad and alone, which is wonderful.
Some wrestlers don't know how to walk when they're told to.
What do you mean by this?
So my guess is Hernandez, after they discuss, he was supposed to walk, but when you're like, oh, I'm going to leave the room, that's fine. But when someone says like, hey, here are your marks of just walk far enough to get behind these lockers, I think maybe this is like, oh, where I don't know how to walk. Where do I put my hands when I act? That kind of thing. Because when he walks like it's truly like 3 steps. It's as if he's never walked before in his life.
I wonder, because like it's obviously Hernandez is not the only non-actor here, right? Like wrestling involves a lot of acting. I think it's a fair comparison, but wrestlers traditionally are not actors. And Lucha Underground is a show so unlike every other wrestling show before and since. Like there's never really been a show like Lucha Underground that is so cinematic, that is so television heavy. So I do wonder if there is a little bit of that, like sort of, I'm not an actor, what do you mean blocking question mark? I hope he gets there because his match, which is coming up, It's been a while since I watched a Hernandez match. Spoilers, I think I love him.
Mm-hmm. Also,
he's great.
I've heard it many times. Good wrestling is re-wrestling.
Oh, that's true. That's a Meisner technique. I of course am speaking of Bobby the Brain Meisner, territory guy. You never heard of him. He goes to a different school. Next match.
Ooh.
Is gonna be a fatal 4-way between Famous B, Ricky Mandel, Vinny Massaro, and Argenis. You can hear how the crowd feels about 3 out of these 4 men, and then Argenis it's like, and they're great. Like Vinny Massaro still wrestles, great dude from all I've heard. I think Famous B and Ricky Mandel still wrestle.
Oh, I follow Ricky Mandel on Twitter. He's a good follow. And hey, if anyone knows him, get him on our show.
Get him on the show. But there's just a sharp drop off of it, like, yeah, and Argenis, fuck yeah. Like it's very distinct, and I kind of love it.
I feel so fucking bad for these 4 wrestlers.
I mean, these 4 wrestlers have one thing in common, of course. All were victims of Pentagon and his arm-breaking, sacrificing ways. But they finally healed up, and they're ready to compete. Yay! James, why would you be upset? They're finally back, and they're gonna wrestle for us. Hurrah!
You're forgetting one thing they're also victims of. An exclusivity clause in their contract. They were probably paid for the last 3 months of just like, hey, guess what? You got a match. It's 4-way. Oh no, it's a squash match. You're not going to be able to wrestle a lick, and that's all we're going to pay you for.
Not even a squash match, because a squash match indicates that there is some ending of some kind. Mm-hmm. This is a no contest, as Tejano, as soon as the bell rings practically, gets in the ring, dumps everyone, including the ref. The ref gets fucking dumped out of the ring and just beaten the shit out of. Because Tejano wants to say something and was not allowed a backstage promo, so he has to interrupt this match to get his words out. Last week, during the trios match, he doesn't know who put his hands on him, but if he wants to come to the temple, he will get the beating of his life, and the crowd cheer big, which is fun for Tejano, who is traditionally a Rudo, has been presented as a Rudo up to here, but being bad guy, good guy. I don't know who you are, Daivari. I don't even know why I just said your name, because I've never met you, Daivari. I don't even know your name, Daivari, but if you come here next week, I'll kick the shit out of you. And everyone's like, yeah. So I'm looking forward to that match. I think that'll be fun as hell. Mm-hmm. Daivari a great wrestler. I've enjoyed Tejano as much as I do not enjoy Alberto.
Yeah.
But that might be more for personal reasons. Loved watching Tejano so far.
Love him. But what I'm looking forward to even more is this brand new storyline developing of...
Let's go, Marty. In the back alley once again, Dario is leaving the temple. I think he's just leaving to take a phone call because there is still a show going on. But he steps out to take a phone call, and there is a fan in a very bright yellow Aztec Pride shirt clearly stalking the shit out of this back door. Mm-hmm. And he stops him and he says, I love this show. I love what you're doing. I can't believe I get to meet you. Dario cuts him off. He's like, great, thanks. Tickets and autographs, though, are not through me. Obviously, you have to call someone. And the man in the yellow shirt says, no. I do not want a ticket to see the show. I want to be in the show, baby. It's me, Marty the Moth Martinez, also known as Martin Casaus, Casaus, who is an awesome follow on Twitch. He works out and he talks about wrestling, and he's very fun. But Marty the Moth Martinez is here, and he demands to be part of this show. He wants it so bad. However, he is creepy.
The moth is my spirit animal. I love that so much. And I'm like, are they doing a stalker fan storyline? Hell yes. And 2, this feels so outlandishly cartoonish of someone saying, I'm the moth. And as you're like, excuse me?
It is very, I get a lot of, I don't know why I'm going to Cat Dog, but if there was an episode of Cat Dog where Dog was a huge fan of a wrestler and wants to get into the business super bad so he can meet that person, That's Marty the Moth Martinez.
I feel like there was an episode like that.
There might be. Maybe that's why I'm thinking of that.
It also feels very, what's it called? Steven Universe. They have wrestling story arcs in that show, and this is something that totally would happen.
It's very Steven Universe, but I don't think Marty would be Steven. I feel like Marty, because there is a confidence to Steven from Steven Universe that I do not think Marty the Moth Martinez has. I think there's an ignorance that sort of leads to a confidence of, let me wait in the dark alley for the boss, and this is how I will get the job. But I don't see the sort of, but I think which is part of the charm, I think, of Marty the Moth, is that he's a bit of a lovable loser at this point. I think it's weird because it is a stalker angle, but it's played very comedically, and it is also the hero is the stalker, but it's fun. I'm not explaining it well, but that's because it's a weird thing to explain. Dario, like 80s sane person though, says that's not no. First of all, the Moth is a shitty name. Secondly, I hate you. Third of all, I'm going to lock this door behind me and call security right now. To which Marty, literally, which I bring up, very dog energy. He shakes the gate a little bit after it gets locked, sort of jumps up and down, and then sprints off, presumably to find a different entrance.
Real quick, the episode, it's season 1, episode 6B, Brothers Day, has a wrestling subplot of Cat Dog.
That sounds about right. Yeah, Marty the Moth Martinez, I can best describe as Dog from Cat Dog wants to be a wrestler. Wants to be this episode, yes. I feel like we'll see a lot more of him, but for now, we got more matches to go, baby. We got this triple threat match for a number 1 contendership between a pile of beef of King Cuerno, the Machine Cage, and Hernandez. Hernandez's first singles match in Lucha Underground. I like this match a lot.
Again, not his first singles match, even in a trios match. You got to make sure it's like a singles.
Do you know what a singles match means?
Yeah.
It means you're the only person on your team. You are a single competitor.
No, it means like a single person with kind of when you go out dating, you're not like, it's 5 of us. It's always like we're a bunch of singles going out to date other singles.
What if you're in a throuple?
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I don't look at people as a team. I look at them as individuals, okay?
All right.
This commie bullshit, this red scare you're trying to promote on this podcast. Get that Marxism out of here.
Yo, more like red flare. Woo.
Ew. Woohoo. Whoo.
Yahoo. That classic Ric Flair quote. Yahoo. It's me, Ric Flair.
Why?
Wow.
Why?
Cuerno versus Cage versus Hernandez starts off with Hernandez, who was worried about the 2-on-1 attack beforehand, immediately talking a lot of shit to both guys before physically putting himself in the middle of them, which is very goofy. If you're just like, I don't want them to gang up on me. All right, ring the bell. Hey, fuck you, man, but also fuck you, man, and then physically positioning yourself in a way to get jumped from behind. Mm-hmm. Which happens immediately. However, the alliance does not last long between Cage and Cuerno. It lasts only as long as the first pin attempt, because both dudes want that belt. They want that Dragon's Gold, baby.
Hello, gold.
A little bit of gold. Hernandez powders out as Cuerno and Cage beat the shit out of each other, just long enough for Hernandez to come back into the ring, miss double lariat, and then eat double super kicks. Hernandez has not gotten anything in yet. It's early on in the match, but it's Lucha Underground. A lot of moves have happened in a very short amount of time. None of them from Hernandez.
In this match, commentating Vampiro channels his inner Violent J. You've heard of interesting t-shirts. Well, in this one, there's an interesting shot to the noggin.
Oh, wait, which one are you talking about? Do you remember the shot?
No, it probably wasn't interesting at all. Just how he said it was exactly like interesting t-shirts. He said, interesting shot to the noggin.
There is a very interesting shot to the noggin. Eventually, Hernandez does sort of capitalize on the singular motivation between Cuerno and Cage. He does manage to sort of, they manage to start fighting each other, and Hernandez starts coming in. He does, it's something that should only work in cartoons, but he puts both of his hands together, not like he's, like he folds the hands in, right, to make sort of one giant fist with two hands, and then he just swings it like a baseball bat. His singular giant fist, and it's such a cartoonish move. It should not look good. It looks so fucking cool.
It also will break your fingers. Don't do it.
It's a really bad idea, but it looks great in this match, which is like a lot. Hernandez, it's been so long since I've actually watched Hernandez, and I need to go back and watch some of his TNA stuff, because I really enjoyed him in this match.
I love his wrestling, but his mannerisms outside of wrestling are so cringy. He dances and moves like he's Jeff Hardy in the late 90s, and no thank you. Ugh.
Oh, less that. I see a Kevin Nash comparison where it's a lot of smirks. It's a lot of like, I guess I'm just that guy. And I fucking love it.
No, he walks so like fun. This. He does this stuff.
Yeah. Like, okay, on our visual podcast, yeah, he's doing sort of a like an LA style sort of like real like gangster leans type of walk down. Not like, and I fucking, which like makes sense. He was in LAX. They do run over children to get their way sometimes and burn American flags. They're bad boys. And he's got this fucking bad boy gangster lean when he walks. Hernandez is awesome. And he does it, and he's doing it, I think, for me, which again, if you find it cringy, that is totally reasonable. We get different things from the same, we see different things in the same product sometimes, and that makes life beautiful. I had a great time watching Hernandez land just these, and who's a big guy, big power moves, and then immediately after, instead of being like ferocious, brah, which he can be, sort of being the real laid back, real gangsta style, like, yeah, man, I'm fucking good at what I do, I guess. I enjoy it so much.
Sean, well, let's get done with this match, and then I'll give an update on something.
Sure. Also, he hits a big stinger splash, which is just like someone's in the corner. In this case, King Cuerno is in the corner, and then you just run and you put your whole body on him, and you fly and you put your whole body on him. Big splash in the corner. He does this to King Cuerno in the corner that Cuerno has his headpiece set up in, the deer head. And as he does the body splash, he boops the deer head on the snout, and the fucking crowd as well as the goose eat that shit up. Like, I didn't just splash you in the corner. I splashed you in the corner and I booped your deer on the snoot. I'm Hernandez, baby. I love it. That's the sort of I put the words I put together. Big, mean, suave. Like, very cool. I'm a Kevin Nash fan. I'm a Hernandez fan. What do you want from me? Cage and Cuerno eventually do realign when Cage promises Cuerno, me first, then you. Sort of like, let's make sure Hernandez does not win. That way I can give you a second, I'll give you the opportunity after I get it. So it is once again sort of 2-on-1. However, it gets a little messy when a surprise guest decides to show up in the ring. Who the fuck is this guy in the yellow Aztec Pride shirt who is bringing a lot of dog energy to this match? Why, it is Marty the Moth Martinez.
Yes, it's not dog energy, it's goddamn moth energy.
Moth energy, baby. Marty the Moth says, baby. Marty the Moth, I don't think actually says anything. He gets shotgun dropkicked to hell by Cuerno pretty quickly before getting slapped and dumped by Hernandez and Cage. All three men kick the shit out of this dude, which they probably should. Don't jump the barricade. These guys, stop that. Marty, that's not how we do things.
Unless it's like, I don't know, an actor strike. Then you can jump that barricade, okay?
Oh, yeah, never support strikers.
Uh-huh. Be a scab.
Scab life.
Be an opportunist, okay? All of a sudden, the studios are like, we like the cut of this man's cloth.
Speaking of opportunists, Hernandez sees the opportunity with this distraction as he dumps Cage out of the ring, and then hits a brutal dominator onto Cuerno and gets the pin at 4 minutes and 55 seconds, shoveling and burying Cuerno through the art of mime, which is another reason he's not just a great wrestler, he's also a great mime. James, there's no downside to this guy.
Sorry, that's not even an oxymoron. That's just, it's like dividing by zero a great mime.
An amazing mime. The French art of mime, if you will. And he's also just a fucking good at, I like Hernandez. I don't know. What do you want from me? Hernandez is awesome. 10 out of 10. Word Hernandez again.
You were talking about like he's bringing dog energy into this. I do need to let everyone know in like a month, I am doing some traveling for business. I'm heading over to a little old place, my heritage, Scotland. Because I believe it's called the Overtoun Bridge. And I need to research the hell out of this and just bring that energy of it back to the United States because it was nicknamed the Dog Suicide Bridge. I realized if the Dominator can live through energy. I'll go like 20% where it's just the fear of just a bunch of dogs would just jump off from this bridge. No one knows why. Like a lot of dogs would jump off from this bridge. So I'm going to harness that energy and just put it into, I guess, dog toys.
Not only are you trying to bring back the Dominator conceptually.
Yes.
You also just completely like went radio silent on this podcast to look up. They couldn't see it because this is an audio medium, but I just saw James scrolling furiously through his phone, me leaving all these pauses for him to jump back in and talk about this match. No, he needed to make sure that we all knew about Scotland's Dog Suicide Bridge and how this is his next business venture.
I wasn't like scrolling, searching. I was just going through my screenshots from like 2019.
Okay. Or you could have been doing this podcast with me right now. James!
The Dominator is part of our lore, so it was doing the podcast.
Oh my. Hernandez wins.
It's insane that dogs would just jump off this bridge.
It's real fucked, man. Wait, what was the name of it?
Like the Overtoun Bridge?
No, Dog Fetch Chowder?
Dog Check Chowder.
Dog Check Chowder. I cannot talk about the Dog Suicide Bridge. Dog Check Chowder. We're almost there. We're over an hour.
But it was during the 1950s, so it was like 1950s dogs. So they were probably like, hey, just yeeting themselves off the bridge.
What the fuck? Yeah, I guess suicide is fun if you're a parody of the 1950s on 70s television.
Yeah,
the Fonz.
No, they just had leather jackets on. Made from sheep leather.
Well, you know who's not a sheep? This is the saddest I've ever had to transition into anything in my life.
What's up?
You know who's not a sheep? The trio's champion is the Odd Thruple in a sit-down interview with Vampiro.
Yes!
Son of Havoc, Evilise, and Angelico in the classic sit-down interview portion featuring Vampiro. No one thought they could do it, but when Evilise stepped up as team captain, they all got on the same... No, I'm sorry. I am being told Son of Havoc is actually the team Nope. No, again, sorry. I am being now told that Angelico did a cool crossbody, and we should talk about that. That's the energy of the interview. It's a lot of like, no, but me.
And Evilise goes, you just keep bringing that up. It wasn't that great. And then... Son of Havoc goes, I mean, it was pretty cool.
I loved that. I have that too. It's awesome. Evilise it's just a crossbody instead of Havoc. Like, oh, I kind of liked it. It's very sweet. They are still very much bickering. Vampiro tries to get the thing back on rails. He's like, how did that feel winning the Trios Championship? And then Angelico reveals that it was like a peak career in-ring moment, but outside of the ring, it's still real bad. Because they pissed off their boss. And it's a bad idea to piss off your boss, especially when he has both organized crime and I'm pretty sure supernatural ties to the Dark Lord.
Hell yeah.
Not a good guy to piss off. Yeah. Vampiro notices Ivalice's leg cast. He mentions Dario Cueto still has it out for you guys. Ivalise, your leg is all casted up. Can you even go? To which Ivalise says, when it's my time to fight, I'll fight. And Helico too. And Son of Havoc kind of caps it all together with the three of us might not like each other, but we fight. Together. Well, I was going to say that. No, I was going to say that. You always do this. I was going to say that.
I can just mute me. That's, we're not in the same room, so there won't be any microphone bleed.
Sorry about the yeah. No, but they do immediately. It's like a beautiful line that they just bicker immediately afterwards. Vampiro can't even sign off. Sorry.
Oh, you were trying to do a bit like they were doing.
Yeah.
I was trying to add on to the bit. They say,
oh, okay.
We don't like each other, but we fight together and cook dinner and do dishes together. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
We cannot agree on a movie, so we do call up Chavo and he just selects one from his list.
What is in the Chavo's list of movies?
Invisible Mom, Invisible Mom 2.
That's it. Just those two. He tried Invisible Dad, but he couldn't. The DVD was scratched up, so he couldn't get it to work. But yeah, and Vampiro can barely sign off with the bickering trios champions, trying to figure out which version of Invisible Mom to watch tonight. Because they all do live each other. They all live together. That's part of the lore, I guess. Yeah. Excited to see these three. They're very, very fun to watch. Very fun to watch bicker. And great-ass wrestling. Oh my gosh. We finally get to the main event tonight. Title versus career. Puma versus Drago. Puma's Lucha Underground Championship on the line. If Drago loses tonight, he is banished from the temple. And James, I see by your agaped fish mouth, you were also left in awe of this terrible, terrible conflict.
Yeah, I truly thought it was going to go the other way.
So did I, actually. But which way did it go? Well, let's break it down. Match opens, of course, Puma being accompanied ringside by Conan.
Yeah, and I've never seen him move that fast in the 15 years I've known him.
Vampiro, of course, hates the shit out of Conan. Spends a long time. Just in some ways that was just very why is he even out here? These are two phenomenal young wrestlers. They are given an opportunity to be on television. Who the fuck wants to see Conan? Why is he here? Why couldn't they?
The only thing I don't like about Hernandez is Conan's by him.
Yeah, he fucking hates this guy. Does he really? I have no idea.
Who knows?
Match opens with Puma offering his hand, which Drago accepts. Despite fear of his career, he still shakes the hand, big honor style. Also, Killshot and Phoenix also had the handshake, big honor style. Puma takes a speed technical offense early, which is something Drago will kind of, I think is part of this story, is that Puma is not just is faster and has a variety of ways of hurting you in the ring that you kind of don't see coming until it's too late. Drago, I mean, Infierno, man, he has to sort of fight a little dirty, a little underground style, a little more strong style of just vicious kicks to the head. But he can only kind of keep it for so long. Puma has a lot of advantages, but the one advantage Drago has is he does not have Conan whispering in his ear very loudly throughout the entire match.
Hey, I'm going to tell you strategy, follow it. Hey, but Drago, honor system, okay? Do not listen to anything I say.
Do you think that is it is an advantage to have Conan talking to you throughout the match?
No.
Neither do I. Vampiro's right. I think it's poor Puma.
Especially when it's that loud for both participants to hear. If it was just a quick hey, we're on the side of the ring, let me whisper, hey, hey, he's been doing this.
Yeah.
His right hooks, leave his rib cage open, get him there.
It's kind of like if you had a poker mentor, but that he stood behind you very loudly going, you should put back that king of diamonds.
Yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't keep that hand. Ooh, you should bluff. I don't think they'll believe you. It's sweet, but
I saw that other guy's cards. They're shit.
Yeah. And then you go all in and you lose. You're like, oh no, not that guy, the other guy. Why don't you listen to me more? Conan, he does help one time though. in a very interesting submission maneuver. Drago, it looks like he's going for the Dragon Slayer pin, but instead sort of turns it around, hammerlocks the arm while scissoring the head. Puma can't see shit and doesn't realize how close he is to the ropes until Conan goes, hey, you're like real close to the ropes. You should touch them. And he does, and it breaks the hold. Awesome submission, though.
Yeah, hey, Sean said we'd get back to the hammer hold, and we just did.
Yeah. It's one of those, sometimes you take moves for granted until you see someone just do it in a very meaningful moment in like in the overall like story of it all. It's like when you see something that's like, it's so trope, but it's done so well at the perfect time. You're like, oh, no, this still can mean something.
Hammer hold, who are you? Tim the Toolman Taylor?
Bam, 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 bam. Strike exchange.
Would you want to do a Blue Collar Comedy Tour mini-series podcast with me where we watch all of them, then rank which one's the best?
That sounds so painful.
Right. Man, Blue Collar Comedy Tour was great. Rides Again, even better. The TV show, awesome. And then we'll discuss.
We're going to do the TV show?
Yes, we'll have to watch a few episodes.
Ron White?
Yes, we'll have to watch a few episodes. He was a guest. No. We'll watch the episode that he guest starred on.
Okay, if we can watch the Ron White episode he guests on. Also, I will not watch Larry the King. I'll watch Larry.
He has an ant covered in moles.
Oh, they call her Holy Moly. Get her done.
Get her done, tiny dancer.
I want to talk about Drago has this awesome little kick exchange. I believe I described it as Drago cooking up a stiff kick stew with a poison rana dessert. It's fucking, even the way Drago kicks out of the corner, you know, like someone's running at the corner. A lot of times you'll see a guy just kind of lift his boot to catch the other guy's chin. Drago does like a straight up Power Rangers fucking sidekick. Like anytime Drago has an opportunity to kick, he fucking kick. He is a chorus line of one, but is also a dragon instead of a beautiful girl. Like it's great. And this match is very hot.
Power Rangers, more like Coward's Manger. Yeah, I'm coming after you, Jesus.
Whoa, not Power Rangers. We got no beef with Power Rangers. Jesus, suck an egg. This match gets crazy. This match, how did you feel about this match?
I love this match, and I do want to apologize to Sean. I don't know what's wrong with me today.
I was like, I was begging you to say something about the Cage Cuerno Hernandez match, and you were too busy finding a way to bring back the Dominator.
The Doginator.
What did you think about that match, by the way? Real, because I don't think you didn't give a firm opinion on that one.
I enjoyed that one, minus his little weird walking and being a clown on stage.
I love it. That's fair. Yeah, this match is quick. It's brutal, and it's a lot. There's another strike exchange with Puma delivering a Blue Thunder bomb, he gets like 3 spins before he does the power bomb from the back. Fucking disgusting. Only a 2 count. We go from Lucha chants to This Is Awesome chants. Crowd's very excited for this match, which is nice to see because I know the crowd in early episodes were sort of hit or miss with Puma, especially during the Cage rivalry. Like there was a couple Puma fans, but there were also a lot of Cage fans and a couple of the Puma Sucks fans. I feel like this is either they did a better job of sweetening the crowd sounds, or people are sort of picking up on like this Puma, who like admittedly, it's like Puma's in such a weird position where not only is he, is he a very younger wrestler? You know, Ricochet has been around for a minute, but not super long. But he's also not wrestling as Ricochet. He's wrestling in a mask as a different person. So it's like this double whammy of like, even the people who do know you might not recognize you. But he's amazing, and he has thoroughly won them over, as well as Drago, who is fucking great.
I want to say this real quick. I work out, people know, cum gutters, all that. When I look at my butt in the mirror, I'm like, it's nowhere near Puma's butt. So like that, my aspirations is Puma's ass, and I just don't have the build for Mill's ass.
I mean, I don't think anyone other than a literal brick house has the build for Mill's ass.
A build for Mill!
Bill. Mill has a great ass. But like also Ricochet. Ricochet is insane. And how much he still has that body today, however, like nearly a decade later, he still has that body and he still does these things. And it's ridiculous. Ricochet is awesome. And so is Prince Puma, who gets Drago into a fireman's position up on his shoulders. He goes to sort of spin him around, but accidentally knocks out referee Marty Elias.
No, his hand just healed. Now his little neck?
He just heard it. Well, no, that was referee Rick Knox. Oh. Marty Elias is a different guy.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure Knox's hand is actually still injured.
Oh, damn it.
I forget. But Marty Elias has been knocked out. He cannot count the pinfall after Drago escapes and lands a code red. So Drago starts putting offense together, goes for the pin, but Marty Elias is all unconscious and uncounting when Hernandez is entering the ring himself and attempts to run over someone. It is not clear who he is attacking, but Puma does dodge out of the way, and unfortunately Drago does not. Mm-hmm. When Marty Elias starts coming up, Hernandez is confused and leaves. Puma is baffled, and Conan demands Puma, Shao Kahn style, finish him. And he hates this. Puma does not want this. He did not want to win. He does not want to win through dirty tactics. Hernandez doesn't even like him. He said so in the locker room 3 feet away, so disrespectfully. But a win is a win. It was the hand he was dealt. And he reluctantly hits a spinning sit-out tombstone pile driver to win the match and end the career of Drago at 9 minutes and 28 seconds.
Oh, at least here in the temple.
At least here in the temple.
But this is the only federation that matters.
I mean, deadass, as someone who was watching WWE and TNA at the time, that's true. Listen, rough times in wrestling.
It's also because there's heavy religious overtones in this.
Now, what do you mean by that?
There's gods like we're to the fighting gods, ogre and whatnot.
From Tekken 3, of course. Yeah. I mean, New Japan is cooking. He could go. I think Shinsuke is still there. Maybe he can get to New Japan at least.
But does that have the Aztec fighting gods on its side?
No.
That's what I thought.
After the match, Puma hates this. He hugs, raises Drago's hand. Drago, now alone in the ring, showered by "Please Don't Go" and "Thank You, Drago" chants. Like, huge ovation for this guy. I feel like the top 3 guys right now, as far as like crowd reactions, are Phoenix, Puma, and Drago. To see Drago leave like that, and what I think confirmed it for me is hearing the crowd react to Puma being banished to the ogre taint of professional wrestling, which of course is hell. Ogre's taint is hell. That was hidden Tekken lore. They never really covered, but it's true. Look it up. Brutal moment as he exits. And we cut to the temple exit, sort of the interior of the same exit that Dario and Marty met at. Drago passes by Dario, promises we will meet again. Dario nods, Drago tongue slithers, and leaves into a burst of fire.
Dragon fire.
It's fucking great. This is one of the many reasons I love Lucha Underground.
It's also from such high up. Like, it would have been more believable if it was at human height, but no, it's from like horizontal with the ground, but like with the ceiling, like it's ceiling height.
Yeah, so it's sort of like a large like loading door, which he walks through. And he walks through, so the fire is outside. All you fire code nerds out there, this is OSHA certified, don't worry. But it was, I guess it's to mean, I took it as like sort of the Liu Kang animality where he turns into a dragon and the dragon is just like an extra 10 feet high. I think that's what I think Drago is Liu Kang. And he just turned into like a 15-foot dragon. And that's where the fire came out of his 15-foot mouth.
Fingers crossed. Also, we have not heard Drago's voice these entire 25 episodes, to my knowledge. I'm going to redub it of him saying, "We'll meet again," but I'll just have it be like, "We'll meet again."
Why would you do this?
Why would you do this? That's going to be the promo that I do. There was an It Takes Two to Toku video that we were part of, like a MTV or a VH1 behind the music of their Maestro Ranger that they asked us to be a part of. And what happened, I was like, well, I want Nicole and I to both be in the video. So what I did was I filmed my stuff, and then Nicole redubbed over my voice, like lip perfect. So I'll repost it when this gets posted.
Hell yeah. And that means I like that. I don't know why that tickles me thoroughly, but it does. In the meantime, though, we better let you guys know where to find us when we ain't recording our beautiful voices talking about Lucha Underground Season 1, Episode 25, The Way of the Drago. What's going on, you dirty motherfuckers? My name is Goose. You can find me at Goose, twitch.tv/Goose Von Kaiser, and I'll fuck you up, nerds. That was very aggressive. I apologize, but I will fuck each and every one of you up, you shitty little nerds. I love you.
Uh-huh. That's my shit. Being, the Goose. That's my shit, guys.
Yeah, all the girls want to touch my clit. You talking about all that trash, and I got a lot of trash that's in my ass, because I ain't got no mill ass girl. I don't have Mill's ass girl.
All right. Guys, head over to MLMpod.com. Links are in the description of this to find out information about my other podcasts like Hit It and Crit It, Sweet Child of Time, not the Rom Complex, The Height of Horror. I've been on that show. One of us hasn't.
Yeah, okay. Dear Rom Complex, WT fuck, why do we have such beef? And please let me on your show. Thank you so much.
I'm also their little boy because I edit their shows and they call me their little boy.
That's true. I have nothing to offer. Please let me on the show.
The Height of Horror, formulaic, all great stuff, and mostly speaking Sentai. We started blowing up. I don't know how or what's going on, but we've gotten
people love you.
In under 2 weeks. We've almost gotten 1,000 downloads.
Wow. You know what it was? It's because this podcast took a week off and people no. Sweet. I like this network without the weird dude who has nothing to offer the Rom Complex but demands to be on.
So much to offer.
I know. I just wanted to hear you say it.
Listen to my music under Marshland Monster. Brand new song with Dragon Boy Sway just came out called Catfight. It's real good. We show that dogs ain't shit but a bag of dicks.
Oh my God.
And then head over to patreon.com/MLMpod, where for $5 a month, you get exclusive content every single Friday. And for $10 a month, you get monthly exclusive content on top of that, including straight to Patreon. Just last month, Torchy, Sean, aka the Goose, and I discuss an Invisible Dad. It's a real fun time. And you also get shout outs on every single free feed podcast. So let's begin with those. I hope the thing that Sean says in between is Suicide Dog Bridge.
Nope.
Steve F.
Ooh, Big Moth energy.
Eric Berry of Ranger Command Power Hour.
Big Moth energy.
Alex Z. The Waz.
That's some Big Moth energy.
Orion, former rapper Defo, D-F-O.
Oh, and they got some big -moth -energy.
Jordan B. The Chaos Witch.
That's some Chaos Moth energy.
My Bickle, brother in common law, Joshua Jacus.
Oh, that's a moth energy. Big.
Steve Barnes, a sweet child of time.
With some sweet Big Moth energy.
My mother.
Mommy Moth energy.
Lil Corey's BFF and soon-to-be former roommate, Shane.
Big Moth energy over here.
That Fed.
That's some Big Moth energy.
Twitch.tv/Corwinning. It's Corwin.
With that Big Moth energy.
Which this movie's gay, guys. Even though we haven't put out an episode in like 2 years, got a nice spike in plays.
Hell yeah.
And finally...
Where's our spike in plays?
And finally... Yeah. Oh, no, we did get a spike in plays, but for Shuffling the Deck, not Sweaty Time Pro Wrestling. Of course. And finally, from the aforementioned rom complex, it's R2 Shelby 2.
With that big moth energy.
And new $5 patron, it's the fourth bro.
Oh, hell yeah, coming with that big moth energy.
I've been James.
And I'm still Sean.
And we got moth energy, baby.
Big style. Bye.
Bye. Oh,